Good morning and welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus this morning is on the young adult population in the Milwaukee area. In 2017, a study showed that Milwaukee was one of only 11 cities with a declining millennial population. With that said, there are several organizations with goals to bring together young professionals in the city to connect, attract, and retain talent. My first guests represent Fuel Milwaukee. Corry Biddle is the executive director, and Sofina, she serves as the communication and technology manager. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
And right off the bat, you got to tell us more about Fuel Milwaukee and its mission.
Yeah, our mission is, it kind of dovetails with what you just talked about in the intro. We really are here and focused on helping millennials, new Milwaukeeans fall in love with the city.
Yeah.
And we do that through community engagement. So helping folks make relationships with each other, make special connections to the city through storytelling and understanding background, building connections with the leadership in the city, just finding ways to help them knit into the community in a way that makes it difficult for them to go somewhere else and duplicate that lifestyle. Like, I have so many friends and I know all the great
Can't
restaurants.
leave them, yeah.
So we just work really hard every day at trying to find new and creative ways to do that, and very event driven, very relationship driven, and that's really what Fuel is focused on.
Okay, and we'll talk more about a couple of the things that you brought up. Sofina, how did you get involved with the organization?
I interned for the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce, who's the parent company of Fuel. And what happened was Corry tapped into me. She's like, you have to come to Fuel. And at that time, I didn't know what I wanted to do, if I wanted to stay in Milwaukee, if I wanted to go somewhere else. And because Corry came and was like, you should come and work for Fuel, I said, yes, I will. And I ended up loving it. And we're doing this for 4 years now.
Yeah, and here you are today.
Yeah.
So, Sofina, since we are looking at you and how you got involved, you are a graduate of Alverno College with degrees in community development and international affairs. So with that, you're responsible for member communications and specialize in social media and e-communications, which is huge in this day and age. So when we talk about millennials, you guys are, if nobody else is, you guys are tapped into technology, its power, and how to really make it work in every sense of the word.
Absolutely. I think our marketing strategies have really expanded the last couple of years, because as millennials, we use all sorts of different platforms to connect, communicate, share, spread the word. So our marketing has really spread a lot on those platforms.
Yeah. And Corry, you're a graduate of Mount Mary College. You've been recognized on the 40 under 40 list. Is that just a little bit of competitiveness there? But within that, this organization, you're responsible for the oversight and development of programs and services. So if you would share your thoughts on the relationship between diversity, economic development, and professional networking.
Yeah, I think when Sofina talked a little bit about the platforms and how we're using more now. Initially, when I came to Fuel was founded in 2001. And people who remember the organization, it used to be called Young Professionals of Milwaukee, and it transitioned into Fuel Milwaukee. Just because sometimes when you just say young or you say professional, people will hear barriers. Well, I don't wear a tie every day. That means I'm not professional. Or, I'm 38, am I still young? So we just got rid of all of that language and just talked about what we do as an organization, which is fuel the region with talent.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, we are using more platforms and reaching out to broader bases, because our parent company is a membership organization. So if you're not a member or if you're not employed by one of the big companies downtown, you wouldn't have heard of Fuel before we shifted strategies. But now our focus really is on diversifying our membership and making sure that the events and everything that we do includes the entire city of Milwaukee, all of the millennials, not just the ones that live or work downtown. And we all know our city is kind of segmented and siloed and segregated. So we're doing a lot to intentionally make sure that our programming and our speakers and the places that we go represent the fullness of what Milwaukee is and everybody in the city.
Yeah, and the potential of what it can be in the future.
Absolutely.
And so when I look at Fuel Milwaukee, just in, looking at the name changes, to talk in your age group, like, it stays lit is what I thought. Y'all laughed like you would laugh at your mom being hip.
We do stay lit.
Now, I guess if there there's some young people out there, younger people, younger than myself, who are interested in becoming a member. What in fact do they do, or how do they go about doing that?
The majority of our members are sponsored by their employers, so I did kind of mention those larger companies, the Manpowers, the Northwestern Mutuals, some of the larger nonprofits in the city. They become corporate members, and a benefit to them as a corporate member is that all of their employees can become members of Fuel. So we have a list of about 60 companies that fall into that category. So when folks go to our website, initially, they'll look at that list first and say, okay, am I employed by one of these companies? And if so, your membership is completely free. If you're not employed by one of those companies, the membership for 12 months is only $50. And it's been that way since we started in 2001. And it just kind of gives you an opportunity to get into the network and get the deep discounts on the events that come with as a benefit of membership.
Okay, and so with you dealing with membership, how do you tap into individuals who may not necessarily work with those corporations that make them automatically a part of the organization if they choose, but you know, for someone who you might just see at the mall who looks like they might be interested, do you just walk up and kind of invite them to a meeting? How's that work?
Actually, I've done that. I have. I'm like, you should be part of our network. I've done that a couple times. Again, there's different strategies that we go about that if they're not part of the membership, the broader membership of the corporate organizations that we have, then we do a lot of speaking engagements. We have done a couple university speaking engagements that we want to make sure that even when they're done with their universities or colleges here, that they know that Fuels is a resource and they can go through that route.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So there are 5 key areas that you guys focus on, and I'll bring up just a couple and you can kind of talk about how that is important in what you do. Leadership and professional development is one of them, volunteerism, and networking and socializing, which I think is a given. So talk about volunteerism and how that's important with what you do.
Yeah, we have a program called the Adopt a Nonprofit program, and essentially we invite the nonprofits in the community to submit an application to say, if you had access to our membership, which is 7,000 folks, what would you ask them to do for your organization? Maybe you don't have the bandwidth, or maybe you don't have the budget. Just kind of imagine and dream up whatever you would want to do. So once we get the proposals, and I think the last time we had like 86 of them that we had to go through, we can only adopt 10. We give the proposals to our membership and they select the nonprofits. And what I love about the program is that the nonprofits that get selected often aren't, they're unsung, they're kind of like little jewels in the community that people don't know about. And we have this opportunity to really raise the visibility of the work that they're doing and offer volunteer opportunities within those nonprofits that are like standard volunteer opportunities. So I call that like ticket taking or greeters, and combine that with professional level volunteer opportunities. So they might need their bylaws rewritten, and we have lawyers that can do that, or they may need their website redesigned. We got marketing folks that can do that, and it's all pro bono.
Gotcha.
And just kind of giving back to the nonprofits in that way.
So you tap into the talent that you have within your organization and use that to help these nonprofits that are doing great things. Like you said, some of them little known, but they do really make a difference.
Impact.
There are a couple of nonprofits that I know you guys have worked with, and they've all been featured on this show. I'll mention Pearls for Teen Girls. There's the Social Development Commission, and then Junior Achievement as well. So I say that so our viewers, if they've seen those shows, then they have an idea of the different things that they offer to young people in changing lives. And I'm interested because you guys plan about 3 to 4 events per month, and you've got some upcoming events, specifically one on August 28th. Tell us more about that.
Absolutely. So on the 29th, we have Andrea Williams, who is Executive Director of Alice's Garden. Every month we do feature a different leader, and in August, Venus is going to talk about her organization and the difference it's making in the community. I don't know how we found Venus. Sometimes we find leaders through many different ways.
She was on the cover of Edible
Yes,
magazine.
there you go. Yeah.
We knew
Yes.
of her.
Of
we
her,
know
yeah.
these leaders anyway, but it was just timely. And it's like,
Summer, outside, gardens, and community. And that's how we came up with her as a speaker. And the event is doing great so far with registrations.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome. So is this open to the public, or is this pretty much set aside for those members of your organization that are able to attend?
It's totally open to the public.
Great.
Of course, members do get a deep discount on the
Is it a
event
deep
rates.
discount?
It's a very deep discount. It's almost nothing. It's free. Become a member. But it's our events range between $10 and $25.
Okay. So
each
very
one.
reasonable.
It's
Yeah.
reasonable, and you're
Yeah.
going to get some good food and hear
Local
about
food.
her story and have a chance to explore Alice's garden. It's just fun. Each leadership luncheon, we let the speaker pick the location.
Oh.
And to the extent that we can, we let them pick the caterers and it's a very custom experience.
Wow, I love that. And you did kind of throw in there, you said local food. So really you consciously promote and support local businesses as well.
It's part of, I think, our personal mission to making sure that we can showcase as much of the city and the abundance we have with people, culture, food, because it makes our events even better, more authentic.
Good stuff. So when looking at the subject of attracting and retaining young talent in the city, the state of Wisconsin is making efforts to recruit more young people with marketing campaigns. So that's got to be helpful. But I would love to hear from the both of you what it is you love most about Milwaukee and what it is that keeps you here as a young professional.
I think my favorite thing about being in Milwaukee is, and I was like a lot of people when I graduated from high school and went to college. I thought I wasn't going to come back. And I thought I'm going to go somewhere else and I'm going to live this great life, and not because I didn't realize all that Milwaukee had to offer me. And I think because we have the Midwestern modesty thing going on, and we don't really sing our praises as a city the way that we should, it really reinforces in me to explore everything that we have. Just the number of leaders that if you send an email or if you call and you say, we have questions about this, or our members want to know about your career journey, or can I come and follow you around for a day? They say yes, and there's not a lot of cities where you can go and people will just say yes, you can follow me around for a day, but Milwaukee is that place. And that's really special to me. There's not been, I can't think of one time that I've called any venue, any speaker, any leader, and asked them to do something for our members and they said no. And I've been with MMAC for almost 10 years. If they could do it, they say yes. They always say yes. That's really special to me.
That's a great answer. And what about you?
I'm going to be a bit more selfish. So I'm going to say I really like the people here. They're very, very welcoming. I'm not born and raised here. And Milwaukee feels like home now. I've been here for a little over 10 years, and it finally feels like home, that I belong here. And it's such a great city to be a part of. As Corry said, you can be a part of anything you want. It's very accessible to anyone, somebody who's an outsider or somebody who's a local. And I also really enjoy the lake. The lake is such a great resource, and we all have access to, so I really, really enjoy that.
Yeah, and it's interesting hearing the both of you talk about it, because I was not born and raised in Milwaukee either, and a lot of people assume that I'm from Milwaukee because I've been here for so long. But I came here, I think I was just about to turn 25, and I got a job in DC, and I took it and went there for a year, and I missed Milwaukee terribly. So here I am.
What did you miss most about Milwaukee?
I think because I did feel like it was my second hometown. All of the people, all of the relationships that I had formed, they were a part of me. It was not like the other cities, with me working in the media, where I kind of was like, I'm just coming through, you know. It really does feel like my second hometown. So I totally relate to everything that you're saying. And I thank you both for coming by and telling us more about Fuel Milwaukee.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Corry Jo Biddle, she's the Executive Director of Fuel Milwaukee, and Sofina Ziyu, she serves as the Communication and Technology Manager. For more information on anything that we've discussed today, you can of course visit their website at fuelmilwaukee.org or call 414-287-4137. When we return to Our Issues Milwaukee, we'll continue our focus on the young adult population in the city that's referred to as millennials, and meet representatives from another organization that works to retain and recruit young talent in the city. We'll find out more about Social X MKE right after this.